What's going on, everybody, and welcome to J Sports Seattle. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Seahawks. Again, just wanted to do one more video before the game tomorrow. I don't know why, but tomorrow feels like such a huge game to start off the season. I mean, it just really shows that what we're about, if we can live up to the hype. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about the final injury report. I'm going to be talking about some of these injuries of the players that are now ready to play. I'm going to be talking about Jamal Adams' contract and talking about Clint Hurtt as well. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. All right, so the final injury report came out yesterday. I'm sure you guys have already seen it. But I will just be going over it briefly in this video. This is off Greg Bell's Twitter. Shout out to him. We're just going to get right into it. So this is the injury report. Friday, K9 was still limited, but he is good to go. They're probably just making sure that they're just probably really taking care of that groin injury, because like hamstrings, groin injuries are very fickle, and you cannot mess with them, because you make it worse and you can definitely be out for a long period of time. So I'm glad that they're limiting him to make sure that he's good to go for Sunday, but he is not on the injury designation, so he will be playing. But look at all of this. This is such good news. Jordan Brooks, Damian Lewis, Boye Mafe, Derek Hall, Mike Morris, Darrell Taylor, JSN, Cody Thompson, Jaron Reed, everybody is practicing. So the only two players that are officially out are Kenny Mack and Jamal. That's it. That is it. And otherwise, we're basically fully healthy. Obviously, you got Damian Lewis questionable, but Pete did say he will play on Sunday, so you can probably just remove that. But Witherspoon is still a question mark, literally, because he's been limited in practice all week, but he's been doing a little bit more every day, which is good. I think we should rest him, because we do not want to make that hamstring injury worse than it already is. He already had one coming into a rookie mini camp, and he already has another one. It's in the same hamstring, but in a different spot. So hopefully I really hope he just sits Sunday and plays next week or week 3, because we do not want to risk getting him even more hurt. We paid him money, so we do not want to do that. But if you look at the Los Angeles Rams designation, you can't really see it much here, but obviously Stetson Bennett is out. Apparently they're not really impressed with the way he played in the preseason. Cooper Kupp is out. We know that, and Hunter Long is out. Yeah, that was he was included in the Jalen Ramsey trade to Miami. But yeah, this is the injury report. Looking very good. Can't wait to see these guys in action on Sunday, especially all the rookies. So yeah, that's all we have for the injury report. We're gonna move on to some of the injuries that these guys had. So yeah, Ken Walker's expected to play Sunday, Pete said. This is off Michael Shandugar's Twitter, so shout out to him. And this is interesting. When asked whether they've named a starting left cornerback for Sunday, Pete declines to say. Then he added, "Everybody will play." So there's that. See, I kind of like that, because it kind of stems back to this Legion of Boom. It's always compete, next man up. That mentality, instilling that mentality in everyone's head, giving everybody a fair chance to play. I do like that, but I do expect Woolen to be starting at left cornerback. I do know that Trey Brown is starting at right, and Mike Jack is behind Woolen, I think, on the depth chart. I might be wrong on that, but I kind of do like that. But I do expect those two to be starting, and then they'll probably take them out and put other people in, like Mike Jack, Kobe Bryant maybe, and if Witherspoon plays, him too. We have a lot of players on that deep on the defensive back side. So can't wait to see that. Damian Lewis banged his shoulder in practice, but he's fine, expected to play. They just gave him a rest on Thursday, but he was a full participant in practice yesterday, which is nice. Let's see. So yeah, Devin Witherspoon and Damian Lewis are questionable to play the Rams. Kenny Mack ruled out. We already went over that. But yeah, like some of these some of these were just freak injuries that happened, and they just needed to sit out for a day. But looks like a lot of these guys are good to go. So I can't wait to see how they play. And I was watching Colin Cowherd's segment on like Geno Smith and us facing the Rams tomorrow, and it had Mark Sanchez on it. And Mark Sanchez was making a joke where there's a difference between when you're playing. There's a difference between being hurt and being injured. And when you see that three-legged dog chasing the mailman down the street, he's hurt, but he's still playing. So these guys could be still hurt, but they're not injured. So I kind of like that segment from Mark Sanchez, and it really put in perspective of the difference between being hurt and being injured. But moving on, we're gonna go to Jamal Adams. This is a couple days old, but I never covered it. We restructured his contract. Let's see. According to Spotrac, the team converted $9.92 million of Adams' 2023 base salary into a signing bonus, which cleared $6.61 million of cap space this year, which gives us around $9 million of available cap space, which makes you wonder, are we going to be making a move later in the season? Could we be trading for someone like a DeForest Buckner, or could we really go for Chris Jones? I don't think that's going to happen, but we could be making but we could make a potential blockbuster trade for a defensive tackle, and that would immediately put us over the top in the NFC, most likely. So I'm glad that they were able to get that done, because Adams has been a little bit of a detriment to the team by being injured, but I still believe in him, and I still think he's going to be really good for us as long as he stays healthy this year if we don't trade him. So the new cap hits are $11.4 million for this year, $26.9 next year, and $27.9 in 2025. So we're going to be filling that in the next couple of years. But this year, it's not going to be as hard and as bad. You see, so we were only $2.48 million under the salary cap before the restructure. So yeah, we would have around $9 million in cap space available. So don't be surprised if we make like a mid-season trade, or make us trade in the next couple of weeks and pay somebody, because that may happen. But yeah, since Jamal has been here, he's played 25 games and missed 25 since the trade from the Jets. So like I said in one of my previous Seahawks videos, the Jets are on the favoring side of the trade, but if Adams can stay healthy for this season and help us make a deep playoff push, we can be in really good shape to potentially even be in favor of that trade, because Garrett Wilson, offensive rookie of the year, or Elijah Vera Tucker, very good. Like, so far, yeah, it's in their favor. But good news overall from this restructuring, and let's see what happens. And then here, I'm just going to talk about. Let's move to the coaches a bit. Clint Hurtt moves upstairs to call Seattle defense at Pete Carroll's direction. So if you noticed during the preseason, we did not allow an opponent to score 20 points on us. It was 13, 14, and 19. That's insane. I mean, like I said, preseason is not a good indicator of how the season's going to go, but I feel like lately it might be, because look at the Rams. The Rams are not going to be good this year, and it shows in their preseason games that they're probably not going to be good this year. They literally had only scored 17 points in their first two preseason games, and then they got shut out in the last game. So this is a good chance that this is a very good indicator that our defense is really on the turnaround, especially on the run side. So yeah, Pete Carroll was saying, like, years ago when I was in San Fran, I'd never been upstairs, and George Seifert told me to go upstairs. And he said the moment I got up there, I kicked myself because I didn't realize how much better it is to call the game from upstairs. And it is right, because like he said, it's here. I'm gonna highlight it. It's just better. It's easier. It's clearer. You have more at your disposal. You have more information handed to you over your shoulder at times. You can see things happening, not so much see the game. It's seeing what's leading up to the game. Substitutions. You meet down in distance. You see D&D when you're upstairs. You're the first one to see the guys coming off the field too, which is, he's not, he's right. I mean, when you're on the field, it's a little bit harder to gauge who's coming off the field and who's coming on, and when they're changing up the personnel. But when you're in the press box, you see everything. And I don't know if Hurt was opposed to it. I mean, obviously he's going to do what Carroll tells him to, but There is an opportunity cost though, because you have to give something up. He's a great sideline coach, and the downside is Hurt isn't present to talk to the game, to talk to players during the game. He was a huge motivator, great pep talker for the players in the game. He gave them heart and soul. I trust Quandre Diggs and Bobby Wagner to be able to do that though, but him going up to the booth can definitely help our defense because he knows everything. He'll know everything. So I'm glad to see that. Let's see, we put it all together and he was all for it. Okay, so he was all for it. So that's good to hear. Senior defensive assistant Carl Scott and linebackers coach John Glenn downstairs and the other guys on the staff down here, they did a fine job of picking it up and carrying the load down here. So, so these guys were down during the preseason. I'm pretty sure these guys were left on the sideline. I see the goal is to get the Seahawks back to the top of the conference. And the only way we can do that is fix our run defense. And so far, it's looking good. So, I mean, I was watching a Pete Carroll press conference not long ago, and he was like, when one of the reporters asked, like, is there a scheming change in the run game, in like the run defense? And Pete was like, yeah. Like, oh, man. So we should be expecting a huge overhaul in that D-line, obviously both player-wise, since we got, Draymond Jones, we got Jaron Reed back, we got Bobby back, we got Mario Edwards, and we got our rookies like Cameron Young, Mike Morris. But then we got and then they changed the scheming up a bit, which has me excited because I wonder what we're doing. Are we going to stick with a 3-4? Are we going to go back to a 4-3? Are we going to be running some cover 2 looks, cover 3 looks? We'll see what happens though. I'm pretty happy. If you run that 4-3 hybrid, like literally every other team is, because that's what they copied us, and it's a copycat league. Ever since that Legion of Boom, other teams have copied our scheming. Like back in 2018, Todd Wash was the Jaguars defensive coordinator. They were second in the league in scoring, points per game, and second in the league in yards allowed. Dan Quinn on the Cowboys. In 2020, the Cowboys ran a 3-4, and they allowed the most points scored, like over 470 points in franchise history in 1 year. And then Dan Quinn came around. They switched to a 4-3 hybrid. Immediately turned the defense around. And last year they were 5th in scoring. So Carroll's scheming has echoed throughout the National Football League, and you've been seeing it. So hopefully we can go back to that, or at least use some of the looks, maybe combine some of the 3-4 looks we were doing last year, but going back to that normal 4-3 hybrid that we used to run back in the Legion of Boom days. So. But I think that's all I have for this video. I don't know when I'll be making another Mariners video. We've been on a slump lately, so I'm probably gonna just explain like what's been going on lately. I will be making a video, post-game video tomorrow, most likely. If not right after the game, the day after on Monday. So stay tuned for that. Comment below on how you think we're going to do tomorrow against the Rams, and if you think Devin Witherspoon should play or not. Thank you for stopping by, and if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. Have a good day, and go Hawks, go Mariners, and go Kraken.